And we're live.
Hey,
Hi.
hey,
Hey,
Hi.
podcast time. Hey,
hey.
Oh,
happy belated birthday, John.
yes.
Thanks,
Happy
appreciate
birthday.
it. I did
Uh,
it. I survived.
Woo.
how old are you?
36.
Wow.
Why?
Congrats.
Why?
Yeah.
Wow. Why
What?
the wow? I don't know how to feel about that, Sean.
I'm gonna be honest, older than I thought.
Okay.
That was not the number I had in my head.
I don't know if you're
Um,
aware of this, but you stay the same age between two people traditionally for the rest of their lives.
True.
So,
I don't know. I feel like I played like a lot of Professor Layton puzzles where the difference seemed to change based on how old they were and with the math equation.
yeah, sure.
Um, did you do anything special? Did you get any cool gifts?
Um, what do we do? The day before on Sunday, we went out for a drive. Reese made me dinner. Or sorry, no, we ordered pizza. That was
Nice.
sorry. I'm getting things confused because
Reese
she
ordered
wanted to
me
make dinner.
pizza. Okay.
Yeah, no, we had pancakes. We had a pancake breakfast. We had pizza for dinner. We watched a bunch of Farscape. We went for a drive around the city. Checked out a couple different places we hadn't been in a while. So that was fun.
Ooh.
And then at midnight, I got a bill for about $8,000 from the government and woke up and was told I'm being audited. So that was great. That was a good
Wow.
start to the actual birthday. Uh,
Wow.
Okay. What?
yeah. So, I had we had issues with our accountant. Our accountant disappeared like last year, so we had to find a new accountant to
What?
take over our file. Yeah,
Wait, what do you mean disappeared?
no one knows where she is. Literally, like no one knows. We contacted someone to do our taxes because we need a specific thing done because of Reese because she's a U.S. citizen still. And
Okay.
when we talked to the lady who did our taxes this past year, she's like, "Oh, we mentioned that our previous accountant was missing." They're like, "Oh, do you mean this person?" I'm like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" I was like, "Oh, you're not the only ones who've asked."
Oh
God.
God.
Yeah, so like no one knows what happened to her.
Oh my God.
It's
Oh,
weird.
jeez.
So
I hope
this
they're
new person,
okay. Like
yeah, I
this
hope so
could
too, because they had kids, and I'm really hoping that that didn't turn out bad.
wait, is like I don't, you probably don't even know, but like are the kids still around or did the whole family disappear? Okay,
Well,
yeah, you
she
don't know.
was divorced from what I remember. So
Okay.
it would just be a case she was like living alone with her kids. And I remember the last time we had talked to her, she mentioned she lost a couple family members for various reasons. And this was the
Oh
very
man.
beginning of COVID. So
Okay. Yeah, this is getting a little dark, but let's
yeah,
continue.
Yeah,
it,
I'm
it
not
was a
feeling good.
ride. So the person who did our taxes for us this year couldn't do GST, which is a separate filing for business. So
Right.
they told me to talk to a different company. So the different company says, yeah, we can do your GST, and we'll also look over your old taxes too. And they went, we don't know why you're actually paying GST. You don't have to because your job doesn't charge taxes because you're a streamer.
Sure.
So they're like, yeah, so you don't have to file this, but you're gonna have to pay more on your taxes eventually. And they filed everything, and it just happened. It all processed on my birthday.
Ah.
And then the government was like, yeah, why are you not paying GST anymore? And so they contacted us. They're like, you're going to have to send us some files, some receipts, and some things to prove this. So my accountant told me to do that. So I was like, okay, on my birthday, I'll just go dig through receipts. And then like an hour after that, the government called back and was like, yeah, you know what? You've been actually pretty good with taxes. We're just going to let this slide. So
Weird.
yeah,
Thank you.
I
yeah, it
mean,
was just very much like yeah. They're like yeah. My boss says you're low risk. Nothing makes sense. Like you're not exactly getting a huge amount off of it or anything like that. Like so we'll process your refund and you don't have to worry about GST. So I'm like okay. How much am I getting back? Like
Birthday.
4,000. So I'm getting half of the money I paid back at least.
Hey,
okay.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
curious. So, first off, doing your taxes now, are you one of the people that does it like 4 times a year?
No, I just pay like X amount every paycheck. I'll be like okay, like 2,000 goes to government, something like that.
Okay.
Because I don't get taxed. My actual like income is not taxed. So I just am like, this is a rough estimate. Just this goes in.
Okay. then you like contact someone every paycheck to do this process for you?
No, I can just do that through through Scotiabank. I can just like I think every Canadian bank has just you can just do that on their website.
You can also just do it through CRA's website in general as well.
CRA lets you log in with whatever bank you have.
Yeah.
And then you can just look at your numbers there, or you can just set it up in your bank.
Yep.
I'm also curious. So, like, when you did this kind of shift to a new tax person, you like, I'm assuming you met a new person and talked to them or spoke on the phone or something.
Spoke over phone and email, yeah.
Yeah. When you told them you're a streamer, did they have any idea what you're talking about?
No, when they called me originally, because the government had called them, they were like, "Oh yeah, so when we originally took you on, we weren't right sure what was going on, so we looked you up. So we looked up a bunch of stuff. This seems pretty fun." And then we looked up a bunch of other streamers. We saw this Dr. Disrespect guy. He's crazy. Yeah, I'm just
God.
"Yeah, that sounds right."
Yeah.
So weird. Like we had to like look you up and find your videos. You subscribed to all your platforms. Bought a shirt. Wow.
I mean, to be fair, our previous accountant also watched Reese a little bit, so.
Like before you became like their client?
No. After we became their client.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that would be a weird scenario. You're my
weird.
favorite. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Okay. In the chat, there's a lot of boobs. Should we be worried? Yeah, that's gonna...
No, that's normal. That's a business
eventful.
expense.
It's definitely eventful.
Yeah.
Paul, how much money did you have to pay to taxes this week?
I don't know. The nice thing about a normal job is that that's not my problem. That's kind of done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my problem in like April.
Yeah, for contracting. Yeah.
No, you do your taxes like in April time. That's like the
yeah, I see what you mean. Yes. And then it's just a matter. And then the nice thing is that they give you that giant receipt that just has like the 5 numbers you need on it. That's the easy part. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just do like the computer TurboTax thing. It tells me how much money I owe. I don't understand any of it.
You could do it that way too.
Whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. I got my booster shot this week, which is pretty exciting.
Nice.
Okay.
So 3 times microchipped, and never better. No side effects, except for the sore shoulder.
Arm. Yeah, sure.
But I didn't have side effects the last times either. So that and 300, pretty great.
Nice.
Nothing going on with you, Paul? Nothing you want to share with the class?
Oh, lazy week. Tired this week.
Animaniacs came back, season 2, and I recommend that show.
Cool.
Trump has been gone a full year. They're still dunking on that guy, and I appreciate it.
All right.
Anyway.
Fair enough.
Let's do the show. This is the Top Down Perspective for November 11th. 11/11.
Yeah. Make a wish.
Yep. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
John, what have you been playing?
I finished Hollow Knight.
Hey.
I don't like the end of that game. The end kind of sucks.
Well, it's okay, because there's more coming.
Yeah, so
they say.
The end of the game, if you want more than just the default ending, I guess, you have to go into like this place called like the White Palace. And to get into there, you have to have grinded out a specific number of like some experience points essentially for your dream nail. So you need like I think 1,800 points on it, and at the time I had nothing else left to do in the game. I had 14, so I had to go find what I missed and search around the world for these remaining points. Then when I got into that area, it basically became like a Proto Celeste, where it's just like there are saw blades everywhere. There's like nails. There's like all these like spikes that'll reset you back to like your default checkpoint. It just became like this annoying like brutally hard platformer. And then there was like this path of pain you could go down as well, which was also like just annoying to deal with. It was like this antithesis, like the opposite of what the actual game had been up to that point, and it's just like not fun.
I was gonna say this sounds like your kind of thing, like brutally
No,
hard
I hate
platformers.
that. I like that when that's what I want to play, not when I want to have a game where I'm adventuring and finding shit.
Kind of surprises you. Okay.
Like I don't like it's basically it was the equivalent of Kaizo. It was like I had to like bounce off of like saw blades and then do like proper dashing and double jumping to get through shortcuts and then bounce off walls and stuff like that. It was just not fun.
Okay.
I hated that.
Sucks.
So when I the final boss was fun. That was great. That was actually a fun final boss. But I'm at 101% in the game, and I think 112 or 114 is the actual completionist. But basically, all I have left is like fights with no reward, and it's all just like grueling, like survival rushes of like, here's like 30 groups of enemies, get through them all, and then fight a boss. Here is 10 bosses you fought in the game, fight them all, and if you die, you gotta do them all over again. And it's just like, no, that sucks. Like, I don't want to do that. I'm sure
Sure.
if like for anyone looking for a long game, like that's fantastic. But like I already kind of was on some of the boss fights as it is because they just decide randomly to have bosses do double damage to you for no reason at times, and it's just the game's just annoyingly inconsistent with stuff like that. And just usually when I bump into a boss, it was like my least favorite part of the game. That game does exploring phenomenally, and just sometimes it's just not fun. And that's why I'm hoping if when Silk Song comes out, they've taken the time to iron some of that out.
Right.
I don't know. It definitely soured my mood on the game. I still think it's a good game overall, but the ending just was just like no. And also the fact that it was like 20, it took me 26 hours to get to the end, which is ridiculously long for a Metroidvania. Most of those take like 10 at the most. So,
Yeah, I beat Metroid Dread in like 6.
yeah. So I was just like, oh my God, it keeps going. It just keeps going. Like I was enjoying the exploring and everything, but like by the end of the game, I'd also forgotten half the lore of the game. So they're like making this big deal out of this one moment. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on anymore. I feel like I need to
Creepy
read a
bugs.
refresher.
That's the lore.
Bugs, yeah.
Bugs.
I don't know. I like it. I like the game still. It's just that ending just did not mesh with me very well.
I know you're
Uh,
a big fan. How did the ending treat you?
What? Sorry, you cut out a little bit for me.
The ending. Did you of Hollow Knight? Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it. I also
Okay.
like that whole game. Like we just differ on opinion on this.
Yeah. And we had a discussion last week about it where I said like I don't like stamina based games, and that thing is basically a stamina based game.
Yep.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, for sure.
Yeah. Other than that, more Mario Party Superstars, but I can't play it anymore because I burned a hole in my hand playing Mario Party. Because I didn't listen to the fucking warning on screen where it says don't spin the stick with your hand, with palm of your hand.
Oh, they literally
like,
put that in there.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They left. So here's the thing. They could have just changed the control scheme. They could have
Yep.
just changed the button mashing. But they're like, no, we're gonna keep the stick spinning in, that thing that we got sued over.
Yep.
But we're gonna put a warning in so they can't sue us. And then of course I'm like, I had played the minigame twice otherwise with people in that game. I'm like, okay, well my hand's been fine. I guess I'll just go again.
Yeah.
And then we lasted the entire like 30 seconds or whatever it is they go. And I looked at my hand afterward. I'm like, oh, there's just a hole in my hand now? I thought the Pro controller wasn't going to do that because it's not the N64 stick.
Can't believe they
A
left that
wave of
in.
nostalgia washed over you.
Yeah, I'm just going to like zoom out. You can just see the little like red dot that's just right
Like
here. It
official
sucks.
gloves for this?
What? No, so Nintendo gave out gloves when they got sued about it. So, and here's the thing, I had a hand wrap. If I had thought ahead, I could have just done this and then it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But I forgot. I didn't think to do it because I didn't think it was going to actually hurt. And now I'm paying for it because bending my hand hurts.
I think at this point, I wouldn't go that hard on my controller because I'd be worried I would damage the controller. And as a kid, I probably didn't care. Whereas now is like, no, if I damage this analog stick, I have to drop like 60, $70. So I don't care if I lose this game.
That's fair. But like I'm just like I I'm competitive. I'm just like, I got to do it. It's the way I can do it the fastest. So I've got to try.
I mean, hey,
And
skin
sure
grows
enough,
back.
doing that was like the worst idea.
Okay.
Man, that's all I've been playing.
Did you win at least?
Yeah, actually, burning that hole in my hand forced the tie, and that dictated who won the game. So, yeah.
Incredible. Mario Party, everyone.
Mario Party.
All right, Paul, you've been playing some stuff that I'm excited about.
Yeah. So I did go through Unpacking last weekend. That is a very just nice game.
Yeah.
There is definitely a life story that you kind of learn about through this female character that you're unpacking her stuff or whatever, and it's kind of neat, especially with like one of the relationships she's in. It's kind of like, oh, it's one of these relationships, and then like there's a different one later. It's cool.
Good environmental storytelling.
Yeah.
Cozy game of the year.
Sure. Yeah. I'd have to look at a list of other games that came out this year. It's probably, if there was like an award for that, it's definitely a front runner. Yeah, and I don't know. That was just a nice. I put on a podcast and was just kind of chill one night at like 2 a.m. and I was just like, I just gonna play Unpacking, and I played through that whole thing.
I'm gonna unpack some stuff. I'm gonna organize this closet.
Yeah.
The person does not have enough hangers. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. The clothing drove me nuts in a few parts. Mismatching, and so I don't know. It drove like parts of, so I have like all black socks or white socks. Like I don't have like multicolored things, and so when you're packing them nicely, seeing like just a random assortment of shit is just like, oh, this is so annoying to look at.
I do also like the just kind of really like smart decisions where you'll be like unpacking some dishes and there'll be like a towel in here, and it's like,
yeah,
this would make sense because you need to like insulate the dishes in some way. So like, of course there's a towel in here.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. I'm not even gonna pretend like I wasn't jealous of some of the like rooms or whatever in that game too. It's just like, oh, this is a cool room, or it'd be cool to have this thing. There's like a statue head of like some weird creature or whatever, like obviously not a real creature, some like Cthulhu-esque type thing. That I was just like, I would love this thing to just be sitting here somewhere.
Did you notice that a lot of or probably all the box arts you can recognize as actual box art?
Yeah, I was looking at them a little bit, but then I was also like, it's 3 a.m. My eyes are exhausted. I don't care. Like, I know this is a DS game, but I don't care which one at this point. It's too small.
Sure. Yeah, I would just notice like, oh, this is clearly Jaws. This is the Matrix. Like, I know what these boxes
are. Not only that, but even just being able to tell what a book, a DVD, a Blu-ray, a Wii game, a GameCube game, and the DS games all apart from each other. It's fucking crazy. Because
it's a cool little game, and it's on Game Pass, so like, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, very, very good game. The big one is Forza Horizon 5 came out on Game Pass.
Yeah, so boy!
I played a bunch, well, I'll say about 3 hours maybe of that one night, and haven't gone back to it yet. But I see you've been playing it as well, so let's have that.
Yeah, I probably played it like probably twice that at least.
Sure.
My like character level is like 25-ish, I think. If you remember what yours is.
B6. B5.
Okay, yeah. I think I've opened up, so the way this one works, it's set in Mexico, but they want you to like open up different areas which will unlock those types of challenges. So it's like, oh, here's the like off-roading area you need to, and you got to unlock that. I've unlocked all the areas, and I'd fully completed the first. Was it the first one? I've completed one of them. It's pretty nuts. They make you do this final race for that one called the I think it was called the Gauntlet, where you have to do a lap of the entire map.
Oh man, okay.
which is long. And actually, it reminded me they did that at the very end of Forza Horizon 1, and I kind of liked that because it was this big like finale. Like it's a one-on-one race. I do the entire map, and um, unfortunately, I was doing it online with a buddy in co-op, meaning we didn't have the rewind feature.
Oh, yeah.
So it basically meant we both came in last because at that point it's like if you mess up, like, oh, you're just gonna be behind for the rest of this. Enjoy being behind everyone for 16 minutes of driving.
Sure.
It was like, oh well, whatever. And that's kind of one of the nice things about the Horizon series. It's like it doesn't really matter if you come in last. They're like, oh, you did the race, moving on. Who cares? Let's just rave happening at this temple.
Yeah. Yeah. I did so like I've done just maybe one or two of different events so far. That for I don't know if it's even the first, but I did the expedition where you're kind of like in an Aztec area, just like doing some stuff, setting up like a radio little station and going here and there and whatever. Like it starts raining and you're like chasing the storm and stuff. It's very, very cool. Good set pieces and just all overall of that like environmental design is top notch. I really, really like it.
It looks absolutely gorgeous. For me personally, I feel like this game kind of sits in my headspace as like a live service game where I get a new big expansion every 2 or 3 years.
Right.
They are just pretty much the same game.
Sure.
You know, with each entry of the Horizon series. So personally, it's a little bit of diminishing returns. Like I pretty much never get excited when I have to do one of those like showdown races where you're like racing a train or racing the plane or whatever, because it's the same thing in every game. You're always going to race a plane. It's always going to be this extremely rubber banded thing where you're going to inch ahead of them at the last second and come in first. And it was cool in like the first few games, but now it's just like, yeah, okay, I've seen the gimmick. I'm tired of it. With that said, though, like the racing is still good, and yeah, you're right. The environments look fantastic. The environments, the weather effects, it all looks really good.
Yeah.
I was watching Digital Foundry's kind of breakdown of the different Xbox consoles and how they're showing it off and whatnot. And you know the intro sequence where you have 4 vehicles getting dropped out of the plane, Fast and Furious style.
Yep.
On the Xbox, on the Xbox Ones.
Okay.
There's a load between each of those, like 30 seconds long.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Which sounds like an absolute nightmare.
That just kills all the momentum.
All the momentum, because yeah, so like John, I'm sure you haven't seen this, but there's 4 vehicles that get dropped out of the plane, and then you like drive along the ground, and you're like going off jumps and landing into races and stuff, and then they like quickly switch back to the plane, and you do the next vehicle. On the Xbox One consoles, after you do that like race, it like goes to a black screen with a spinning bar for like 30 seconds. And then
gross.
You drop the next one out. And just it was bonkers to me because I was watching this after I'd already done it, where it was just smooth and seamless, and I'm like,
yeah.
Well, you get what you pay for, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
What about on Series X? Does it happen there or?
Oh no, on the Series consoles, it is smooth. Everything's connected. Like you wouldn't. It's all kind of one exact perfect thing. It's what you want. And I'm actually playing on quality mode, which is 4K 30. And that's the one that like Digital Foundry actually recommended just because of the increased amount of like ground debris and foliage and stuff that you kind of get out of that. But that's the one I'm picking over 1080 60 myself. I don't know what options I mean, you're playing PC, Paul. I don't know what options you have there.
I don't know, 4K 144 or whatever, like whatever your PC can handle, right? I don't know.
Was that what your PC handles?
No, I have it set to probably 60 hertz. I don't know if VSync's on, but I probably have it set to 60 currently. At whatever settings like ultra is, or you can't tell at some point what
right on
that is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, this thing looks fantastic. The soundtrack's not doing it really for me this time. I haven't really come across like any songs where I'm like, I'm going to look that up and actually see if I want to put that on my phone or something.
Yeah, I turned music off after about an hour and just started listening to my own stuff. It's fine.
Yep. I like all the events. Like it's it's another Forza game. It's the same kind of formula. It looks good. The new thing is the like adventure chapters or whatever, where you kind of go through this like little mini story with someone. You're fine. The story is like barely a story.
Yeah.
Um, it's it's just an excuse to drive the cars more. But
Yeah.
I'm here to just drive dumb fast cars, just try not to hit the wall, and go on the like community generated decal section and find the dumb anime girl skin that someone made for this insanely fast car, and that's what I'm going to use because why not? I'm gonna purchase the VW Bus and get the skin of the Family but Guy characters, and that's the one that I'm going to soup up into an S1 class car and drive around. And I don't care that there's like a naked Lois on the back. Someone made that, so there you go.
I'm sure they did. Yep. Sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see which kind of tie-in like licensed property they'll do with this one. The Lego one in Horizon 4 was awesome. The Hot Wheels one in 3 was also awesome. So I hope there's a high bar they got to meet, and hopefully they'll meet that.
Yeah, game's cool. It's the perfect Game Pass game because I play it for like 3 days and then I don't touch those games ever again until the next one because I don't care about.
I'm gonna play it longer than that for sure. Sure. Nice. Another nice thing is quick resume's working perfectly.
Cool.
It's nice. I feel like that's a coin toss these days with some Xbox Game Studios games.
Sure. That's it for me.
That's it for you. I started and played through all of Inscryption.
Nice.
And that game is fucking weird, man.
That game is really hard to talk about if you want people to play it.
It's weird. That is an unsettling game.
Yep.
Like when it finished, I was just like, okay. And then like, then you go on the Reddit and you find all the other stuff that has been going on with the ARG surrounding the game.
I haven't looked that stuff up yet. Maybe I'll do that later.
Like every aspect is like 5 layers deep. And there's like there's more narrative content out there. Like, dude, what?
Yeah, that guy's insane. That guy is actually insane.
Did you finish the game, Paul?
No, I gotta do the last thing.
Okay, all right. So, did you get to the third act? It's kind of 3 acts to the game.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Okay, so you still have some twists coming your way. I will say the second act,
yeah,
it's long and it drags a little bit.
Okay.
The third act makes up for it, and then like the final like hour or so is so cool in terms of what they do. So like you still have some weird stuff coming your way. I will say, however, that first act is like the best part of the game. Like when you're in like the wooded house and everything.
Sure.
It's kind of like I feel like everything is just firing on all cylinders there. It looks cool. It's creepy. You're getting like some of the best the escape room kind of stuff. You know, there's but there's still some exciting stuff to come. I really think people need to play this game. Like it is definitely going to be you can definitely tell it's one of those games where people are going to look back and be like, "Oh, what was 2021 in gaming?" And Inscryption will be on that list as, "Oh, I remember Inscryption." Yeah.
Yeah. It is a memorable game.
For sure. It kind of 2 games kind of come to mind, and these games don't play anything like it, but just in terms of like kind of the headspace and the mood that they occupy. And the first one, primarily, Obra Dinn.
Okay.
I feel like Inscryption is like the step brother of Return of the Obra Dinn.
Okay.
And then the other one is like Outer Wilds. And that one's a little less, but just in terms of like this is just like a special, there's some really cool stuff going on that hasn't been hit before. So if you like maybe either of those games in kind of a like thematic in a tonal way, you should do yourself a favor and play at least 3 hours of Inscryption and then play the other 5.
Yeah.
I finished it in about 8. How long to beat it at 11? I finished it in around 8 hours. So
Oh, okay. Cool.
Last I played, a Dicey Dungeon came out on Game Pass, so I started that up again because that's the best Yahtzee game. And sometimes you just want to play some dungeon crawling Yahtzee,
Right.
where your character turns into a bear, and the shopkeeper will stop selling you stuff because you're too powerful and also a bear. So that game's still just great. If you haven't played it, Game Pass there's no better chance. I also saw it's on sale on Switch for like under $4. So
Oh,
do
wow.
yourself a favor. Yeah. There's a Halloween special episode. There you go. What else do you want? That's all I've been playing. Let's do some of this news. This first one getting reported from Jeff Grubb over on Giant Bomb's Grub Snacks show. 1 vs 100 is definitely in development at Microsoft.
Good.
Nice.
Can I get a fuck yeah?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit. I would get excited about this. Those who don't know, 1 vs 100 was a game from back in 2009 on the 360. You just did like a trivia game show online multiplayer with like your friends and thousands of other people, and the person who got picked for it was based on the game show 1 vs 100. You had the chance of winning like Microsoft points. I never even made it. One person was the one, 100 people were the 100, and everyone else was the crowd. I was only ever in the crowd. Did you guys ever get further than that?
No.
Who was the host that they got? Remember?
I don't.
Well, the actual original show was Bob Saget. I don't know who they got for the game.
Yeah, the game. They got a specific guy. His name, because he was always Chris Cashman. Who it was?
I don't remember that at all. But yeah, I believe you.
I need to watch some YouTube videos of this. This was such a weird. It was ahead of its time, honestly, and I would love if it came back. Oh, that would be very cool. Apparently, it's in development at AltSpace VR, which is part of Microsoft's mixed reality division.
Weird. Okay.
And yeah, they're definitely making the game, and it seems like it's coming from the AltSpace VR team. They're spearheading the project, and all of the avatars we saw in the Microsoft Teams thing last week, they're going to use those avatars and bring that stuff in. I just hope that there's like an Xbox or a PC like game version of this, and it's not a weird like VR only thing, because then I really won't have access to it. Paul, I guess you would.
Oh, yeah, I guess. We'll see.
Anyway, they should do that. That'd be awesome. The Steam Deck got delayed.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah.
Everything else is getting like low production. There's no way they're gonna pull off, especially with how popular the Steam Deck seemed.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that they did that. They're blaming the chip shortage as for sure. So
yeah,
basically, if you're in the first rung of people that had a late 2021 release date, that has now been pushed to February 2022. I'd still be surprised if they hit that.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
only like 2 months later than this other thing. That doesn't seem like a long enough delay. But
it really doesn't.
I doubt they would want to delay it multiple times. So I would hope that they're confident in this one, but I guess we'll see. Speaking of delays, the Playdate got delayed.
Yeah.
Got that email today.
Yeah, I got did you read the email?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the email said like there was a battery issue with their first 5,000 units. So they sent all 5,000 of them back to get a different battery. And then there was a piece in there about like they had to change the chipset they wanted, because if they wanted to use the original chipset that they had planned, they would have to wait 730 days for those chips.
Wow.
Gotta wait 2 years. Yeah,
2
insane.
years. They are also blaming the chip shortage. They're like, let us tell you, like, it is very real. So they've also pushed from a late 2021 to an early 2022. And I'll be surprised if that makes it. But they seem pretty confident in this new date in terms of their email. So we'll see. Jeff Keighley got out there and said or promised there's going to be no NFT stuff at the Game Awards, and I think it's hilarious that he made this announcement.
It seems necessary at this point, the way people
Yeah.
have been. So
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
everything is getting sponsored by crypto.com or something. You know what I mean? Like every time I go to the movie theater, there's a trailer for something NFT or crypto related.
Well, Discord had a
commercial, I should say, not a
backlash
trailer.
because they tweeted out a thing showing Ethereum connection through Discord, and a bunch of people canceled their subscriptions.
Yep, I know a lot of game developers in the last couple of weeks when they had their shareholder meeting or their quarterly financials, they had to kind of talk about NFTs and what their strategy is, or if they have a strategy or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think it's pretty funny that he just had to say, "We're not going to do any NFT stuff for the Game Awards." Great.
Yeah. It is at the point where that distinction does have to be made.
Well, it's like a meme at this point. Like it's a joke if you're backing this in some kind of way, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if it was just like a bunch of cryptos or something got out there and just started I've seen a bunch of shitty Twitch streamers like pimping stuff that they even said they don't believe in. Like it's been a weird like couple weeks for crypto.
I mean, there's definitely like a thing, something happening with crypto and NFTs. I don't know if it's a bubble it's going to break, but it is on the rise, and I feel like as more and more are talking it is bringing more and more, and it's just snowballing.
Yeah.
We're definitely in a moment right now of all this stuff. So,
Which is why we want to announce TDP Plus.
oh god.
yeah, TDP plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can now fund us with crypto.
Announce
If you install this
NFTDP.
short little browser extension.
Yeah, exactly. Earn money by listening.
Yeah, there you go. Rainbow Six Extraction announced today that their game is going to cost $40 and come with a buddy pass, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So we know Extraction is coming January 20th.
Yeah.
And that's the Rainbow Six Siege spin-off game where they're like infected zombies. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, it's their Left 4 Dead like type thing.
Exactly. Yeah. $40. Yeah, buddy pass. I think that's a timed buddy pass of like 2 weeks, so it's not like an actual buddy pass that we come to know from like EA games, like It Takes Two and such.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this just means eventually this thing's going to be free to play, and they're trying to get a bit of money right off the gate.
Yeah.
From people excited before they drop it entirely. This makes me think they didn't feel confident they could sell it at a 60 priced game because it's going to be a service game. They know that eventually it will be free to play. Let's see if we can milk just a little bit off the very beginning and get a bunch of numbers.
It looks like it should be free to play.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. Like Siege wasn't. Is Siege free at the moment? I don't think it even is, right?
I don't remember if there's a free tier. I think there might be, and then you can buy like a $10 like intro pack that gets you some stuff.
I mean, there's definitely like battle passes and stuff in there, but
there is that. That's different.
I feel like it just kind of shows like where multiplayer shooters are these days. It's battle passes, it's seasonal expansions. Like look at Destiny, that's free to play. Overwatch 2 is free to play, right? Or that's their plan.
I don't know. I guess so.
Campaign content, I think that was paid. I can't remember what it was. Also, who knows what's going on with that game?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, buddy pass. I think you can actually give the buddy pass up to 2 people because it's a 3-player game. So look for that. I'm looking forward. I like co-op games, so I'm looking forward to playing that game. There's a Twitch app now on Switch.
Yep.
More interestingly, we have some news about what's coming from Microsoft's, or I guess Xbox's, Compulsion Games. They purchased this studio. This is the studio that did We Happy Few. They're working on a game called Midnight, which is going to be a single player game, and it's alongside this reveal was Pentiment, a murder mystery RPG from Obsidian, which that one sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So some more games coming from Xbox Game Studios, obviously, but
I can't wait to see something about it. That'll be cool.
Yeah, these are just some code names that were, or I don't know if Pentiment is that's got to be a code name, but anyways, murder mystery RPG from Obsidian.
Sounds great.
Yeah, that's checking a lot of boxes for me.
Totally.
Speaking of Microsoft updates, the Xbox app on PC will soon allow players to install games in any folder and use mods.
Nice.
That's huge.
About time.
Yep.
Good for them. I had a bit of sales info from Forza Horizon 5 I just wanted to mention. Phil Spencer tweeted out he got 4.5 million players so far across PC, cloud, and console for Forza Horizon 5, showing that it's the largest launch day for an Xbox Game Studios game.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so far, its peak concurrent is 3 times that Forza Horizon 4 ever got.
Wow.
That was back on the 9th, and then I saw a tweet just earlier from today saying they've already passed 6 million players.
Good lord.
Jesus.
So a lot of people are excited for Forza Horizon 5. I'm just glad to see them doing so well. It's a great game. So
it's very good. If you have Game Pass, you should check it out. For sure.
Absolutely, like it is such a gorgeous looking game. Like it's very good. We got some news on the Devil May Cry anime. Is this a Netflix thing?
Yeah, I think so, because it's the Castlevania guy.
Okay.
This last point is great.
Yeah, the last point is great. So let me just read these 4 points for you. Season 1 scripts are done. 8 episodes, multi-season arc. Virgil and Lady confirmed to make appearances. Capcom supports the show. Shankar works directly with, Hiroyuki
Kobayashi.
And then the last one is Chris Pratt will not voice anybody.
That's so good.
This is IGN's reporting, so they asked about that. I feel like this is very similar to Jeff Keighley having to say, no, we won't have any NFT stuff at the Game Awards.
Chris Pratt is basically an NFT for voice actors, so that makes sense.
It's so... I almost feel bad for that guy. He got voiced or cast in 2 things, and now it's a meme.
I do not at all feel bad for that guy.
You've been seeing that stuff going around that Matt Berry should be voicing Garfield?
No.
Oh, it's so fucking good. And they're right. That would be an absolute slam dunk. Holy shit. People need to watch What We Do in the Shadows. That show is so good. And on a downer note, we'll end with a downer here.
Great. Let's
Better Ubisoft, the group of people trying to help change Ubisoft. This is like the developers themselves, the people that, are staging walkouts, trying to make a change within Ubisoft, not the higher ups of Ubisoft.
Right, yeah.
Tweeted, 100 days ago, we signed our open letter and sent out our 4 key demands. None of our demands have been met, so today we're launching a new petition open for all to our supporters to sign. So this is like a public-facing thing. You can go sign and show of support and solidarity. But, just a little glimpse behind the curtain that apparently Ubisoft is not doing much to get better, regardless of what the CEOs might be putting out in press releases.
Yeah.
And then that kind of got tied with a little image saying, "You disappoint us, M. Guimont," which is a reference to the emails that Far Cry 6 was sending people about, hey, why don't you come back and play the game? You only played for a few hours. Why don't you come play some more Far Cry 6? Did you guys hear about those emails?
Yes. I saw them. I saw screenshots of them, and
wild shit.
Those are the most egregious of them. They've been doing this for years. One of the funniest ones is I got an email from one of my friends' clip playing Siege of him losing the match. And there's this little be like, you could have helped this or something. I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Wow. That's rough. Just throwing your friend onto the bus right there.
I mean, he's in the chat. It's I'm 3D Homer. and he got an email showing him a loss that he got earlier in the week or whatever. Their emails game is so fucking weird. It's so weird.
Insane.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about that.
Every time I see an Ubisoft email, I start smiling a little bit to see what dumb shit they're pulling now.
They've done some dumb shit, that's for sure. Let's look at the emails that people sent us, or the questions.
Sure.
Topdownperspective@gmail.com is the email address. You can also send it on Twitter @TDP Podcast, our Discord channel, or John's PO Box. Those are all great ways to send questions into the show.
Oh.
I'll read this from Kevin. How do you feel about supporting a game by buying merchandise? I'm asking because there are games I'd be okay with supporting more, but not if it means buying junk I don't care about. Also, does your answer change if we're talking about in-game cosmetics and DLC instead of merchandise?
Sure. I stopped buying special editions because I also don't want shit in my room anymore.
Yeah, I'll buy merch for something if I like it and I actually want the stuff. It's rare because, again, I don't need a bunch of stuff in my apartment, but I have some like posters from Supergiant Games, for examples.
I
love those games.
Yeah, I fully
DLC,
agree.
like,
Collector's editions are they just take up too much space after a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's on the onus for them, just like any company, to make something worth buying that I want to buy, right? So like they should make merchandise, and if it's good, I will buy it. So I'm down for it for sure. But not just like I'm no longer okay with just buying like a mug that says a game name on it or something. Like I don't care about that. You have to make something worthwhile.
I feel very similar about like anything on like the My Nintendo Rewards thing. No, I don't need a Pikmin branded face towel.
Sure.
Yeah, picking up Mario Party for pre-order, I got a set of Mario Party postcards, and I'm like, I'm never going to use this.
Yeah, I'll see. Because there's a lot, like almost anything that's a pre-order bonus at this point. It'll be like, I think there was like an Animal Crossing. Oh no, it was a Pokemon one. You get a little notepad. Okay, no, I'm good.
We're not the target market for that stuff at this point.
Totally.
Yeah. DLC though, that's like a whole different thing. Like, sure, if I want what they're selling, like I'll buy some DLC, of course.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Same with cosmetics. Yeah.
Yeah, in-game anything. If I like a game, I will sometimes just buy it because I support the company that way. I'm definitely more likely to drop another $20 on a company for like an in-game something or other, especially if it's a multiplayer thing that I can show it off to other people, than like, I don't know, a postcard or something that's going to go in the garbage at some point.
Right. I'll say like if kind of the genesis of this question is like how to support the developer more or something, I would recommend buying the game directly from their website as opposed to going through like Steam. You'll still get a Steam code for the game, but they won't have to give that extra cut to Steam.
On Humble as well, when you buy stuff, there's a slider. You can put it all to the developer to make sure that like nobody else cuts into it, or charity, or split it that way. That's usually a decent way too. Yeah, there's good ways to do it. Suku writes in and says, I was listening to another podcast, and one of the hosts was mentioned having waterfalls you can dive off in a game makes a game a 10 out of 10 for them. It was obviously a joke, but are there similar minor things in a game that can make a game be a 10 out of 10 for you? Besides double jumping, Sean, what do you got?
Petting the dog.
Petting the dog will increase the score. I don't know if it'll make it a 10 out of 10, but for this...
Right. Well, I don't think anything... Yes. Like, putting a double jump in your game is not going to give you a 10 out of 10.
No, it's easily a 10 out of 10 double jump.
It's the right step forward, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But just some things that like you should be doing. Some things I expect from every game. Here's the checklist.
Yeah, here we go.
Double jump.
Yeah.
You got to be able to pet the dog or cat, whatever the creature is, you got to be able to pet it. Is there something behind your waterfall? No, don't put a waterfall in the game.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I got off the top of my head. What's your checklist?
I mean, the double jump. Like, if you don't have a double jump, I got really into air dashing, too. I really like air dashing. I don't know why. Something just feels good about it.
What about you,
Track
John?
editors. Track editors.
Okay.
That's a big one for me. Or like customization editors, trick editors, character editors.
Okay. Yeah, making
Stuff
your
like
own
that.
thing. Sure. That's a good one actually, yeah.
If we're talking games that don't have those features on the regular, let's say stuff like jetpacks or helicopters, like anything that lets you fly.
Okay.
Yeah,
And as
okay.
long as it handles well, it has to handle at least decently well.
Oh, sorry. Quick side note, because I was thinking about the character editors, and I was going to add on. Anytime there's a character editor, if you could hit a random button, I would really appreciate that. Because sometimes I just want to cycle
Those are
through
nice
a
to
bunch
have, yeah.
Yep.
until I find one I like. I don't want to do any of the work. And then this tangent back to Forza Horizon 5. When you start up, and they've had this for a few, you can put your name in, and they'll actually say your name. They recorded a whole bunch of
Yeah.
different names. You can also pick a nickname this time, which
Yep.
is new. And some of the nicknames they have put are the most insane shit. They're so funny. So I sent a list to my friend. They got stuff like Abraham Lincoln,
Okay,
Nice.
that's good.
Count Drifula,
Nice.
Yeah.
Madam President.
Okay, pretty good.
Oh, I'm gonna scroll up and see the list I sent. So give me a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Prime Minister, Thingy Majig, X, Nighthawk, My Lady, Bantosaurus Rex. I think those are all the ones I called out. But they recorded. So every single time I like log into the game, they're like, "Welcome back, Count Drifula." Damn right.
Pretty good.
Next one from Dead. What's your biggest tip for navigating the internet for someone growing up? Let's use the benchmark ages of 7, 10, 13, and 16 if you want to tailor specific advice for specific ages.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm kind of the opinion kids under the age of 15 shouldn't be on the internet, period. But I know that's
I don't think you can do
unrealistic.
under 15. I don't think that's physically possible. That's
I
not
don't
possible.
think that's like schools use the internet. Like, there's,
Dude,
I don't
they
think that's
10,
shouldn't.
10 and under is hard to be like, yeah, no kids on the internet as is.
By my way, people under 20 wouldn't be able to use the internet, but I mean, that's just me.
Well, I think what there should be is there should be different internets, right?
Yeah,
Like,
well,
here's the teen internet.
theoretically,
Here's the adult internet.
what there was I mean, there's a whole thing on YouTube now where you have to save some things for children specifically because those
YouTube
internets got
Kids.
mixed. That was bad. That was real bad. I think that still is a problem. But
It's still happening, yeah.
I mean, I have a rule that blankets them all, and I still abide by this myself. Don't post anything on the internet that you don't want on the front page of Reddit.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Those are words I live by. Don't say or post anything that you wouldn't want to see show up on the front page of Reddit.
Don't give your ASL.
Yeah, definitely don't give your ASL. I don't know if I have like specific stuff for each age of this.
I wouldn't say that either. Like, I'm even thinking, like, when did I start using the internet on the regular? The first time I remember using it, I was like 10.
Yeah, probably, right? Around there.
I want to say I was probably 8.
It was kind of a different time, though, because, like,
Yeah.
internet, well, I'll speak for myself. Internet for me was, like, AOL chat rooms that if you said, like, shit, you would get banned, and, like, your ISP would write your parents' email about it. So you never really talked weird mess in AOL chat rooms. And, like, the only time you would ever log on is to look up Mortal Kombat 2 combos.
I mean, when I had access to the internet, it wasn't on my phone. It was just on a computer that had to tie up the phone line.
In the living room.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when the internet was 2 tin cans connected by a string.
Yeah.
You just had to shout in
It still kind
to
of
your
is.
friend next door. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, like, we could like limit stuff for these ages, but like I know as a kid, I was looking at shit I shouldn't have been looking at.
Oh,
and
totally.
I know, Paul, you were like,
what? I mean, yes, but
I feel like the advice isn't really for kids at this point. It's more so for the parents. Like,
Totally.
don't let your kids just use the internet unsupervised until they're like 13.
But as that kid, I would have hated if my mom was.
I know. I would have hated that as well too.
Yeah.
But like, as
And we're
someone
supposed
with
to be- we're supposed
foresight,
to
it's
be the
like, oh
cool
no, you
adults.
should do that now.
Like we're trying to be like the cool adults that are like giving the M-rated game to the little guy. And it's
Yeah,
like, I got
but
your
at the
back.
same time, when we were kids, you know, computers didn't remember your credit card number. You didn't.
True.
Yeah. You couldn't
To
just
that-
look into someone's purse and find like their phone and then get access to a store that wants thousands upon thousands of video game dollars.
To that extent, though, like we're trying to say what the 7-year-old should or shouldn't do on the internet. I bet we have no fucking idea what the 7-year-old internet is. Like they're probably doing stuff on the internet we've never even considered or heard
my
of.
nephews are watching Hot Wheels reviews.
Okay, so like
and
the same thing you're doing
Transformers
on the
reviews.
internet.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I am to believe from the way people our age talk about their kids or whatever. The only thing kids do on the internet is watch YouTube stuff and like maybe play a couple apps on their iPad or something. Which is fine. That's right internet use. Watch a video, don't comment on it, don't do any of that stuff. Just watch it and leave.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still like I still feel like I'm unqualified because I bet.
Is there a YouTube app that like is literally just you can type in what video you want to watch and then click it and not read comments, not read the description?
I think that is YouTube Kids. YouTube Kids has comments turned off.
Yeah.
I mean, regular YouTube, you just don't scroll down.
Right, but if you're a kid or you giving it to a kid, that doesn't work because a kid's gonna do whatever.
Okay, yeah, I'm assuming YouTube Kids probably just don't allow comments on the videos because why would they need comments?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe John's nephew's got it right. I don't think the internet peaked with Hot Wheels reviews. As far as I'm concerned.
I think they really that's the smart thing.
What else do you even need it for? Than to know which Hot Wheel is better than the other one.
Like
I know one of my nephews every now and then he'll show me like there's like this weird woodworking channel he watches and they're like they take like popsicle sticks and then they just make like some like crazy art out of it or stuff like that. It's all like these weird like maker videos, but not like 5-minute crafts, more like here's actual crafts.
This kid's gonna be like handier than you are.
Well, I mean, considering his father repairs cars, I could see that.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish we had like that shit growing up. I was the kid that was like into those stupid science books that were just like pictures of stuff and like learning.
Those are called science textbooks.
They weren't textbooks.
I wish we had all the stuff that we kind of had now, but limited like it was back in the day. Like, I think half the reason we aren't just completely messed up by the internet from when we grew up was because it was so limited. You could only view so much of it. There was only so much going on. And it was still like this wild west of things happening instead of like corporate commercial landscape.
Yeah. You wanted to look at a boob. You had to go out in the woods and find a magazine.
You actually had to go to a store and hope that they weren't looking.
Yeah, true.
You had to put it inside of a different magazine on the outside so they didn't know what you're looking at. No,
now you can just put it on your phone. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's too easy. They don't know how easy they got it.
I wasn't actually kidding when I said that the internet growing up for the most part was like looking up Mortal Kombat combos or looking up something in Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Like how to get past a part. Like that's all it was. It was text files.
A lot of my internet was MSN Messenger.
Yeah, that too.
Yep.
Like reading a bunch of web comics. Like
ICQ, MSN, a bunch of forums, and Mega Tokyo.
Mega Tokyo, yep.
Homestar Runner.
Sure. Yep.
Penny Arcade.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a friend who's like our like routine every time he had like a birthday and went over to his house, it's like we're gonna watch the decline of video gaming, Flash animations, all of them again, and we've watched these like 8 times because this is the funniest shit in the world.
Sure.
Hebrew Lantern writes, "What is your favorite type of pasta?"
Lasagna, unless that's cheating.
I also really like lasagna.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's cheating. You could like it's the same as any other pasta with like a meat sauce, right?
Yeah, but if you want something that's like, stirred in proper, not like baked like that, let's say penne.
Okay,
Penny's
penny's good.
like a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. He says I like rotini shells. I also like shells.
I feel like my favorites, they have a bit more like tortellini. You're gonna get some meat in there. Tortellini's nice. Does gnocchi count? Or is that a potato?
That's
a potato technically.
It's kind of like half a pasta, right?
It's like a stuffed pasta in a way, but it's
definitely like
potato.
a close relative of a pasta.
I think even what the actual noodle part is like a potato noodle.
What about, do pierogies count? Is that a pasta? No, that's definitely not a pasta. Pierogies are great though.
They are
we could
great.
talk about pierogies for a second.
Yeah, I haven't had them in a long time. I should have some pierogies.
Yeah, there was a bar near my university where on Wednesdays it was like pierogi night, and they would basically make nachos but with pierogies instead of chips.
Sure, that makes sense.
That was just great.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I like penne.
Yeah, penne's great. I kind of just don't like any stringy pastas. Like I don't love linguine. I don't like spaghetti at all.
I like linguine. Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, here's the secret that big pasta won't tell you. It all tastes the fucking same.
Sure, it's the texture. It's the same reason why I won't eat like Shanghai noodles and Chinese food, or I just won't eat noodles that are kind of thin.
Sure.
Comet Strider X writes, "What's the most unusual and possibly unneeded port, not remaster, of a game you've ever heard of?" Unusual and unneeded.
The Last of Us HD really wasn't needed.
Yeah, there's a few of those that are like, we released this again on PS4 because we could.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yes, Skyrim. Yeah.
I remember one that confused a lot of us was when they did a like Deadpool HD.
Yeah.
Like 4 months after the other one came out. But that was also because like the consoles had just come out, so it was like, well, we're gonna sell it on the new consoles.
Yeah.
So here's the better one. But it was like, this just came out. What? I remember that was a big.
That's a good answer. Yeah, that was shitty. I remember that.
Phantomagus, ahoy TDP crew. This month marks the 20th anniversary for the Xbox. What are your fondest memories with the consoles or games related to the brand? I won my original Xbox in a raffle.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah, so that at the time, the most recent system I had was the N64. So it was just like, that was just like such a big step up. And then just getting to play stuff like Halo. I was excited for Jet Set Radio Future and Ninja Gaiden, which became some of my favorite games. Just stuff like that. It was just really fun to have. And then playing all these other games like Splinter Cell for the first time was mind blowing. Playing online with Xbox Live for Crimson Skies and Mech Assault and all that stuff, and Halo 2 was all crazy. Probably stuff like that, yeah.
Sure.
You have anything, Paul?
Yeah, so one of our friends in our group growing up, he was the one that got the Xbox. I just remember going to his house on like the Friday or Saturday, ordering some pizzas and just like playing mainly Halo for a while there, but Fusion Frenzy was a big one for our group for a while. Just whatever. I will say right now is kind of like the reawakening era for me for Xbox, because I haven't cared about Xbox maybe ever, because I never really owned one. I had a 360 to play a few things with people, but like Game Pass and the way they've been kind of catering to like PC players and stuff like that, like I'm definitely really on board the Xbox brand right now for sure. I'm really into them.
Yeah, I mean, you got that tattoo, right?
Yeah, but I can't show it on Twitch. TOS.
Oh, it's okay. You already showed me, and that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get my Xbox until like way after, so I definitely have. So 360 was my first Xbox, and I have so many great memories because I had my 360 like right in those like golden years of your youth of like, 12 to 16, where it's like,
yeah,
everything you like here, you're never gonna forget it, and it's the best time in the world.
Sure.
So, like, getting Guitar Hero 2 on that thing and playing that. Rock Band is, I bring up Rock Band all the time. Viva Pinata I loved. I have great memories of 1 versus 100, coming home after school, and then the 3 guys I was just chatting with, we all get on a party chat and we try and help each other do this dumb trivia show together before we all go off to dinner. Like that
Yeah.
was a blast. Um yeah, just like doing endless set lists on Rock Band while drinking like too much Mountain Dew as a teenager and eating chicken nuggets until like 1 in the morning. Like
Yeah.
that's living, baby.
Yeah.
Am I next for the
You
question?
are.
BGC Kenny writes, do you think that Sneak King 2 or any other meme game could be a good one more thing? Or would it be weird that the game that they'd want to hype up the most is by technical standards not very good?
It would be terrible. It's a bad idea.
Meme games are meme games for a reason. Usually the sequel's not going to be good.
Yeah.
It's like when Bubsy came back because it was just irony. People wanted it back for irony of that sake. And they're like, oh, no, this game kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if like bringing it back, it'd be like, well, it was bad the first time, so like you have to make it good now. Like they have to know exactly what the joke is. I feel similarly with like Deadly Premonition. It's like
Yeah.
if it was almost kind of like lightning in a bottle, like you really think you can do it again? Oh, you can't.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was a bummer. I'll always have the first one. I don't know. I would love a Sneak King too. That
Sure.
first game is ridiculous. That
As
hey, we
someone
got
who's played through it, no, I'm good. One of those was enough.
I played through that. I'll take a new one. I'll take a new level. Some DLC. I'll break out my copy.
DLC. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, we got a Doritos Crash Course too. And it wasn't
That's
that
true,
bad.
but that game was decent, and it's the studio that actually went on to make Dead by Daylight. So,
Speaking of Dead by Daylight, second part to this question. Once they show off the trailer for Sneak King 2, another trailer featuring the King happens. It's a bit confusing at first, but it is then revealed that the King is going to be the next killer in Dead by Daylight.
I'm in.
You think
Let's
anyone
go.
would take that seriously?
Dude, that'd be
That's a
fantastic. That is what I would love. That's some good irony bugs.
That would be good.
And what's great is like he actually has like some kind of weird teleportation powers. So like that would be so incredibly good.
It would honestly be like
it
would honestly be kind of like a layup. It would be an easy buy for a lot of people.
Yeah. I would re-download that game. I haven't put any money into that game. I would re-download that game and buy that DLC because I need to spend some time with that.
All right, Lineback writes, we've all been bored at work. Tell us some of the craziest things you've done while on shift.
I've recorded episodes of Superman at one of my old jobs.
You've recorded a lot of stuff at your old job.
I recorded multiple YouTube videos at my old job because it was a 12-hour shift that was either like 7 a.m. to p.m. or 7 p.m. to a.m. Couldn't do anything to a.m. p.m. because that was normal working hours, but the p.m. to a.m. shift, you could get away with a lot. So I had this briefcase that I carried with me to work that had a laptop in it, a video game console, capture cards, and headphone or microphones and everything. And just found an empty office room like at like 1 a.m. in the morning and just recorded stuff there. Other times I would just bring like a packet of games with me and be like, all right, well, today's shifts when there's nothing going on, I'm going to try to beat this game or stuff like that. That's what started me doing game clearing again, was just having nothing to do at one of my jobs.
Yeah, you definitely recorded some podcasts.
Yep, we have recorded from there. I have streamed from there. There were some ill-advised decisions. I streamed an NES game. I literally brought an NES with me to that place and tried to stream from there for a charity marathon.
I definitely don't have anything as good as that. I can't think of anything really stupid I've ever done at work, unfortunately.
In my line of work, there's a lot of downtime in between things coming in. And when I used to do more of the warehousing and like the guy who actually drove around between aircraft to do stuff, I would sometimes, and before we had like these digital locks and everything on the doors and we had key lock, I would put up a sign that says gone for lunch, back in 15 minutes, lock the door and go play at the arcade for like hours and then come back to see if anybody was there. Gone to the mall a few times after locking up the door to go do shopping for Christmas. Yeah, a lot of downtime.
I definitely went to like the bathroom for a while and with like my DS. Just played games in the stall for a while. That's
Nice.
about it.
Nice.
Ailita writes in and says, you are given the ability to teleport anywhere you want for a limited amount of time before you are sent back home. Say 12 hours, for example. Where would you want to go for 12 hours? Bank vault?
Oh. Yeah.
Really? Well, wait, that means you're stuck in the bank vault for 12 hours.
Well, yeah, but banks are closed for more than 12 hours, so.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, like, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You can't leave whenever you want. I mean, I would just use
Uh,
it to travel.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, if you want an
Oh.
actual answer, like I would go to another country and just do sightseeing for 12 hours.
Yep.
12 hours, come back here, sleep for 8 hours. Rinse and repeat. Like every week, every like Saturday would be like, where am I going this time? I don't know, Ireland. Let's do that. Pick a new town each day.
So if you're just given the ability to do this at any point for 12 hours at a time, boy, that would make going to work way easier.
Yeah,
Not having to
but
drive.
then you'd be stuck there for 4 hours after your shift unless you run a 12-hour shift.
I run 10 to 12 hour shifts, so
Then
it's
you'd be
fine.
set.
Yeah. But man, if there's a
Well,
problem at work and then like your 12 hours is off, it just takes you back home. You're like, oh no, this is so bad.
Yeah, that's true. And Gutang Clan writes, is there a game you were most likely not going to pick up, but then played a free demo of it and your mind was changed to purchase the game?
Oh yeah, Outriders is the most recent one. When I played that demo, I was just like, this is actually really fun. My demo progress is going to carry over. Done. Sure.
I feel like I'm at the point where I don't play a demo anymore. It's just like, am I gonna get this? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't really play demos too much. So the last time I guess I like rented Mortal Kombat 9 from Blockbuster and then bought it with LA Noire. Bought it though. And that's going to do it for questions. So if you would like to send in some questions for next week, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
Unpacking.
Mario Party.
I'm going to give it to Inscryption. If you are a patron at the top tier, you can submit a game now. Our poll will be going up next week, but the submission thread is now live.
Oh God.
And if you would like to hear us talk about Marvel's Eternals, that episode of TBP went live earlier this week, so you can check that out. The next episode we're doing in 2 Mondays from now is going to be all about everything Ghostbusters.
Oh, I'm so excited for that one.
So look forward to that. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
Everybody.
Bye.